shooting stars.
Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to my channel, and let's review Jupiter and Mars, a game that was announced a couple of years ago. Since the reveal I was really excited about it and I was waiting long time for it to be released. Finally it's out and now is the waiting was worth it. Does this game deliver or does it suck? Let's talk about it, let's do the review. If you like what you're seeing, please press a like, it does help the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe, it's always better when it's more of us. In Jupiter and Mars you playing as two dolphins. One of them dolphins is you from first person mode, and second dolphin called Mars is one what swims beside you. He's got some powers, he can bash things. Very strong headed dolphin this is. And together they go on a journey to save the oceans. The humans long left the planet, but before they left they managed to fuck it up a bit. They left some mess in the oceans and now them dolphins going to sort it out. This story plays very nice with real life events because as we know oceans those days are very badly polluted by humans. Back in the day in 50s people was thinking, fuck it, whatever we put in oceans is gonna get diluted because that's how big oceans are. And then fast forward few years and they started realizing, actually what we're doing is quite destructive. And even fast forward to those days and we pretty much fucked up big part of the ocean. Even though humans trying to reduce their pollution, there's more and more humans, they reproducing at very fast rate, and the more humans, even if their footprint might be slightly smaller per each human person, still because of the pure volume of them, we're gonna end up destroying the planet. That's my views of it, but at least this game addresses it, might open few eyes. And anyway, how does this game pass in on this message? Let's start from the graphics. And graphically, when you play on flat, the game is quite satisfying. I don't think it's got HDR or very high resolution, in my eyes it's 1080p, but it works very well, especially with this neon art style. The presentation on flat screen looks really nice and definitely fits the theme of the game, and combined with beautiful soundtrack, it's passing on very nice sensory vibes to your brain. And then you always got VR mode, and this is a tale not only of two dolphins but also two games, because VR mode is pretty low res. The graphics definitely look far worse in VR. The game is very blurry, the popping is big, sometimes you see just pretty much white blobs instead of outlines of the objects you want to see. It's really poor. I found myself, even though I love VR, I found myself switching to flat version from time to time just to give my eyes a rest. The more jaggy the games are and the more blurry they are in VR, the less depth effect you get, so a lot of times it felt to me like just 360 video in low res. Definitely not a nice presentation in VR. You can tell the developers struggled to optimize, but nevertheless the VR mode is here if you want to try it. Both modes comes with one game, so if you buy it once you don't need any add-ons. It's got VR and flat version, but like I said, VR presentation is really bad. And speaking about VR, let's speak about some comfort options. You can have snap turning if you wish so, but also you can switch it off and have smooth turning. And apart from you being able to control games with thumbsticks, in VR you can actually use your head to turn around. I stick with thumbsticks so I can look around more, but the options are here for you, while in flat mode it's DualShock only, of course. You're using R2 to swim forward, L2 to swim backwards. You can press triangle to quickly do 180 degrees turn because you are a very agile dolphin, and also you've got your buttons for sending echolocations, echo waves, have your button for Mars to bash things, so very simple controls, very easy to pick up, not a problem at all with those. I found the tutorial being very short, which is nice, but very informative. Pretty much the game you pick up and play, very nice. Now I touched on music a bit, but let me just go to general sounds of the game more in depth, and I want to speak about the soundtrack because the soundtrack is absolutely beautiful in this game. I really like the soundtrack, it sounds nice, so many different songs, each levels give you new songs, very nice, like electronics / zen music, very relaxing, but also when the action ramps up a bit you get this more intense tunes. The music fits every level perfectly, and also you've got your echolocation options. Sometimes you hear the dolphin making its dolphin noises and some fishes swimming around, but definitely I wish the ocean itself would make a bit more noise as well. The other creatures in the ocean sometimes, even though the soundtrack is great, it felt a bit empty. Now let's speak about the gameplay. The developers don't hide in the fact that they are very inspired by some retro games, your Metro, Castlevania and all that, and it shows in the game. The exploration is the main part of the game. You basically following objectives, you have to find your way around. The world is massive, and sometimes I wish this game had some sort of map, because more than few times I found myself just swimming in circles, and even though there is some collectibles and stuff to pick around, I found it mega boring, especially midway through the game. The mid stages definitely suffer from that. I found myself just pointlessly swimming, and because swimming speed is not as fast as I wish for, it's made it a bit of a chore, to the point I was ready to quit the game and was like, fuck it, I can't be bothered with it anymore, it bores me to death. But once I powered through those mid-game stages, later on the game picked up a bit, but I'm still finding the fact that there is no map a bit annoying. It would be nice to have marked location, which I visit, which I didn't, especially that the game allows you to return to the location. After you finish the game, you unlock extra mode. I don't want to spoil you the ending and what's happened there, but it's, you know, it gives you chance to play more the game. It's got this replayability, but without the map, sometimes I just get lost. I can't see the locations I've been to and which ones I didn't. Some locations in the games are massive and they look similarish, so getting lost is very easy, especially that this is the 6 Degrees of Freedom game. So having the map would be helpful, same like your objective marker. You got like this circle in the middle of the screen which shows you the objective, but sometimes you don't know if it's above you or in front of you, you don't know where to swim, so I found it sometimes a bit pointless. You've got like little dots at the bottom of the sea which you can follow, but they didn't work well as well. They should help you, but sometimes, especially when you've got like multiple objectives, they just shows you all sorts of direction, and sometimes they go off to the wall and you're looking for them. It's a bit annoying. I don't want game to hold my hand, definitely, but if they doing maps of this size and they deciding to not have actual map, maybe a little hint system would help. I don't say point me where I want to go, but give me a hint, maybe say, oh yeah, you've been here, or maybe say, maybe you should find some sort of wall and then you're gonna progress from there. Some little hints would be nice. It would save a lot and a lot of frustration, especially when you decide to play full game in VR. The screen is so blurry that sometimes you just don't know where you're going. That's why I found myself playing a lot of this game flat. So it's a game I wanted to like, but definitely got some issues, especially midway through the game. But once I power through it, the last levels of the game are really good and really fun to play as well. You've got them tunnels what you need to go through. You get lost, but not too much. You need to find your way, like try to remember where you was. The difficulty definitely gets higher as well. It's getting more challenging. The last levels of the game are awesome, and speaking about the last levels of the game, I must say the ending is absolutely fantastic. I love the ending and I loved what they went for, and also I love how they presented it. A very satisfying ending to a game that I found myself being frustrated with from time to time, and to a game that I wish had better graphics, at least Pro Patch something. The VR graphics are really poor. So to the verdict, I used to do games on my buy or not buy scale. Now from this video I decided it would be more fitting for the channel to have a proper point scale, and for Jupiter and Mars I give 6 out of 10. It's not too bad game, but the issues it's got are definitely frustrating, and especially in VR, as this is the VR channel, the graphics really putting me off. I'm usually the last person to complain about the graphics, but when they so bad that they taking away from the experience, I cannot pass it. And also midway through the game pace gets really boring when you're looking for a tiny gap in a massive map. Swimming in circles, it gets frustrating. It's a game with very strong story and very good message and beautiful soundtrack, but it's got few issues here and there, and that's it, bye.